Hello, Marley. Have you had a good sleep? You must be getting up early in the morning, ready for your big day. Today out here, it's very cloudy. There's not much going on here. It's a bit still. It's about 25 degrees, which is nice. I've been for a nice long walk. Do you remember where we were up to last time in your book? Do you remember that Pooh, he got stuck down Rabbit's hole. He ate all of his honey and he couldn't fit out. He couldn't get out. He had his bottom inside and his head outside, and Rabbit had to pull him to try and get him out, and he was stuck. Let's continue. Where we're up to. Right. After all, it was nearly 11 o'clock in the morning, and Pooh always liked a little something at that time of the day. At last, after checking that there was no food left in Rabbit's house, Pooh thanked Rabbit and with a sticky voice said that he must leave. He started to climb out of the hole. He pulled and he pushed until his nose and ears, front paws and shoulders were in the open. And then nothing. "Oh, help and bother," said Pooh. "I can't move." By now, Rabbit had gone out of his back door and round to the front to see Pooh. "Oh dear, that's not very good." "Give me your paws," he said, and Rabbit pulled and pulled and pulled. Uh-oh, that looks like a bit of a bother. "Ouch," said Pooh. He was stuck, and Rabbit knew why. He didn't like to say anything, but "You've eaten too much." He said, "I shall see if Christopher Robin can help." So Rabbit brought Christopher Robin, who quickly saw that there was only one thing to do. He's got blue gumboots. I've got blue gumboots too. Oh, we call them gumboots in Australia. I think you call them wellies in England. Oh, there's some bees. I wonder what the bees will do. "We'll have to wait for you to get thin again so we can pull you out," he said to Pooh, who was very anxious. He would have to stay in there for a week without any food. He began to sigh, and then a tear rolled down his cheek. "Would you read a sustaining story to help Pooh and comfort me?" he said. "Of course, you silly old bear," said Christopher Robin. And every day he read to Pooh, and while Pooh felt himself getting slimmer and slimmer, until at the end of the week, Christopher Robin took hold of his front paws and Rabbit and had all of his friends and relations take hold of Christopher Robin, and together they pulled. And with a sudden pop, see him go flying? They all fell backwards and out came Pooh, free at last. He nodded to his friend, and then he continued his walk through the forest, humming proudly to himself. I think that's pretty neat. Now there is one thing that Pooh missed. Sorry, Nanny Deb keeps looking, but Nanny Deb's camera is over there. So when I look at me, it's over there. So it's kind of weird, but it's okay. Now, like I said, Nanny Deb is weird anyway. Now there is one thing that Pooh missed when he was stuck in the hole, apart from honey. It was his friends. Pooh enjoys spending time with his friends. Oh, can you see his friends? There's Rabbit and Pooh and Piglet. And one very nice thing to do when you are with your friends is to play Pooh sticks together. One day, Pooh, Piglet, Rabbit and Roo were all playing Pooh sticks at the bridge. The river was very lazy that day, So they had been leaning over the edge for a while, waiting to see whose stick would be first. Do you remember Pooh sticks? Do you remember in the beginning I said they had sticks and they would drop them in the river and the river would take them slowly and it's whoever's stick won first. Your mummy and I did that once when we were at the rocks. You have to ask your mummy, and we put little bits of wood and leaves in and they were running down through the water where the sea is, and a big octopus came out and grabbed a crab and your mummy was screaming. Actually, I think it was your nanny Deb that was screaming, but your mummy was too. Roo kept thinking that he could see them and had been very excited, but soon he was beginning to get bored by how long the sticks were taking until Pooh saw something. "That's yours, Piglet," he said suddenly, the grey stick coming out now. Roo was very excited again. "Come on, stick!" Piglet thought he might win, and he squeaked excitingly. "It is definitely mine. Mine, it's grey and big." "Oh no, it's Eeyore," said Pooh. Look, it's not a stick at all. It's Eeyore floating down the river. Oh. And there floating in the river with his legs in the air was Eeyore. "I didn't know you were playing Pooh sticks, Eeyore," said Roo. "I'm not. I'm waiting for someone to help me out of the river," he replied. Eeyore's a little bit sad, isn't he? Everyone was silent until Pooh said that he had a sort of idea. Eeyore was already feeling unsure about this idea. "We could throw things into the river to wash Eeyore onto the riverbank," said Pooh. Rabbit thought it was a very good idea, but Piglet was worried that they might hit Eeyore by mistake, and then Pooh dropped the biggest stone he could carry into the water. Splash! Eeyore disappeared. Where's he gone? You see? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Even the sight of Piglet's stick coming under the bridge didn't cheer them up. But then Pooh saw something grey by the riverbank. It was Eeyore at last. "Well done, Pooh," said Rabbit kindly. Oh dear, I think poor Eeyore looks a little bit wet, doesn't he? But Eeyore didn't thank Pooh. Instead, he told Pooh that he had swum out of the way of the very large stone he had thrown at him. Pooh began to feel a bit anxious. He knew that his good ideas were often better in his brain than when they were out in the open. It's a little bit like my ideas. But Eeyore was out of the river and Pooh said, "Whoop," and Pooh hadn't caused him any harm. It was very fortunate. Looks like, oh, he looks very wet, doesn't he? Poor Eeyore. They all wanted to know how Eeyore ended up in the river in the first place. "I was thinking by the riverside when I was bounced," he said. And just as they were talking about being bounced, who should come through the hedge but Tigger? Can you see him? Tigger! Tigger is a big bouncer. "Hello," he said cheerfully. Tigger's very exciting. Rabbit decided to ask Tigger exactly what had happened when he bounced Eeyore into the river. "I was behind Eeyore when I coughed," said Tigger, making a rather surprising noise which made little Piglet fall over. Now, taking people by surprise like that is what Tiggers do best. "And this is what I call bouncing," said Eeyore. "I was just minding my own business in my little corner of the forest when Tigger bounced into it." I coughed, said Tigger crossly. Just then, Christopher Robin walked through towards the bridge, and the animals decided to ask him what he thought about it all. Well, I think, said Christopher Robin, I think we should all play Pooh sticks. I think that's a good idea too. I think we should all play Pooh sticks, and that's exactly what they did. And Eeyore, who had never played Pooh sticks before, won more games than anyone else. Oh, that looks fun. You see? They're throwing their sticks off the bridge into the water and then going to the other side of the bridge and see whose stick comes out first. As the afternoon passed, Rabbit took Roo home to Kanga, and Tigger and Eeyore left together, leaving Christopher Robin, Pooh and Piglet on the bridge by themselves. Looks like it's going to get dark to get home. It was a quiet, peaceful summer afternoon in the forest, and for a long time they silently looked at the river flowing beneath them. Until Piglet said that he thought Tigger was all right, really. I don't suppose I'm right. Oh, hang on, did I read that right? Oh, no, he was all right, really. I don't suppose I'm right, said Pooh, but I think everyone is all right, really. And Christopher Robin agreed with the silly old bear. That's the end of that story. You can see Winnie the Pooh. He's doing a few jumps and stretches. They're his staunchness exercises with him stretching his arms. Well, next time when I send you a story, Marley May, it'll be about Piglet. Again, I think this will be back to front, but it's okay because you can't read yet. But can you see Piglet? He's carrying a big pink something. We'll find out what that is next time. I love you very much, Marley May, and I love sending you stories. Okay, I'll see you from your Nanny Deb. Okay, bye-bye.